Happy birthday, Virgo. It's your Cosmic Auntie here, and it's going to be your September monthly reading. But honestly, this could be interesting at anytime it finds you. But I am recording it in your season, Virgo. And yeah, I hope that if you've had your birthday, it's been awesome. And if it's still coming up, I hope it's fantastic. Okay. Yeah, as fantastic as you are, right, Virgo? Thank you for being you. You are such a gift to this world, and I am so grateful for you. And that's going to lead right into the visual that I received while tuning the cards to your energy for this month, Virgo. And what I received is a visual of this beautiful candy box. It was like this white candy box. It was round, it had a beautiful bow, and it kind of like slid out. And as this center slid out, there was pink on the inside, and it was filled with these beautiful wrapped pink and blue candies, round candies. And it just really gives me an energy of gifts and, receiving gifts, giving gifts. And yeah, so I being recognized, being seen, being appreciated, blessings, so it gave me this certain kind of excitement where, the excitement of giving or receiving a gift, or really feeling super blessed, and that it was just a lovely image. So I'm excited to lean into this further, Virgo. The decks I'm going to use today, this one is called the Light and Shadow deck. It's actually one big deck. Oops, sorry, Shell. One big deck, where one deck is done in speaking to the light expression of energy, so the energy that we show up in the world, and the energy that like kind of people interface with, and the energy that you express and act, anything that's exposed in the light, right? What we do in the day, we do in life. And then there's the shadow side, which is our internal processes. The things that occur in the shadow within ourselves and our emotions and internally. So one really speaks to external energy and one speaks to internal energy. So both full 78 card tarot decks, and they mirror each other. And so this should be really interesting, and I hope that you enjoy this reading. As always, tune in with yourself, your own inner knowing. You know yourself best, right, Virgo? And you especially teach us this, right? You teach us and invite us into our wholeness. You remind us of our wholeness, that we are all universes within this vessel, your life experiencing itself, and to connect with life, we connect with ourselves, and to remember that, so these are all very Virgonian like teachings. And so this is your season, and thank you for that reminder. And I gotta say too, like before I jump into this reading, that your season this time around has this real go-getter, switching into third gear energy. It was so interesting because I tuned the cards to the season, and then I tuned the cards to the unique zodiac sign that I'm reading, or whoever I'm reading for. And before I tuned into your energy, I looked at the bottom of both of these decks. One was the external light expression of the Three of Wands, and then under the other one was the shadow internal expression of the Three of Wands. And out of like all those cards, for them to be on the same card from the two decks is pretty special. So I feel your season and your archetype really inviting us deeper into streamlining our goals, our plans, kicking them into third gear, and being ready for the next level, this level that we have been planning for and preparing for, right, Virgo? You want to find ways that make the most sense to things, and always always coming back home to self, knowing and reminding each and every one of us again of our wholeness and that we have everything that we need to live, to show up in the world. And you know, so let's jump into these cards and see what's coming up for you, Virgo. I'm gonna do one big deck. So these candies, these beautiful pink and blue candies, there's a little kind of white stripe around them, and then they're perfectly wrapped in these like beautiful, like kind of wax paper twists. Virgo. Virgo, September. Okay. Virgo, September. What is coming up for Virgo? Okay, let's see. We've got the Chariot in the inner child position. We've got the Devil in the subconscious energy. We've got the Fool in the conscious energy for you, Virgo. We've got the Three of Pentacles in your heart space. The Ten of Swords in the past. Five of Wands in the present. The Eight of Serpents, which is the Eight of Pentacles in your future position. And then the Temperance in the blockages. We have Justice in the blockage, in your strengths, and Justice in your advice, which is super cool. And then we have the Nine of Cups in the shadow. So we have equal light and equal shadow. There's a real fresh start that's occurring, like very internal, like there's a readiness, there's a freshness, there's a leap, there's a, you know, like there's just a readiness for new and a willingness to go. I sense for a lot of you that there's places within yourself that you're noticing are influencing your outer environment in a way. And there's a notion of getting out of your own way here, Virgo, like really like being ready to get out of your own way. You're in regards to something. I see you're building, you're growing. And there's like a lot of love there in what you are building and growing, and that's really great to see. There's a real commitment I sense in your energy, a readiness, a willingness, an enjoyment wherever you find yourself in committing to what you are building, what you are growing. And I sense that there's like an aspect with that, because an aspect with that that's really inspiring you to kind of really look at and approach these places where you're getting in your own way differently, maybe in a new way. And I sense there's even aspects of yourself that you may have not been ready to look at, but in this growth, in this space of building, there's a readiness at some point, at this point, to look at wherever this devil energy is happening in your subconscious energy, right? Like there's things that are kind of, you know, I just keep feeling like there's things that you're noticing within yourself and in your environment that are getting in your way. And it's, I really sense it's coming from like being really real with yourself, Virgo, which you are so good at doing. These triggers and how they're affecting your environment, how are affecting you and your environment, and affecting, you know, others in your environment too, because I sense that you've really been moving and healing through a lot of past pain, and there may be a lot of like past pain coming up for you right now in some way. And that's where this devil energy is bubbling up, and the devil is all about where you feel drained, where there's coping mechanisms that are not healthy, and choosing kind of old ways of being, but they're not helping you anymore, and coming to awareness with that, and really addressing that, because I sense that you're ready to just start this new chapter, and these old things are not going to get in your way anymore. That's what I really feel. You've been through a lot, and there's this awareness I sense with your triggers, and there's just things like not coming with you anymore. And I keep looking at this, right? Like there's the Fool in your conscious energy in the internal deck, leaping kind of towards this devil energy in your subconscious position in the external, from the external deck, from the like light. So that shows me that you're just ready for something new. These things aren't coming with you anymore. You're getting out of your own way. You care about because you care about what you're building, what you're growing. That's inspiring you to really stand your ground and combat these things that are coming up, and be aware of them. And it's like, you know, some of it is, and I say combat because you have the Five of Wands in your present position. So there's a certain kind of tone I sense that you're bringing with seeing these triggers. Like, you know, there's an aspect of kind of grappling with yourself, kind of, yeah, like almost kind of, yeah, like just tumbling around with yourself, like really being like exploring, like what is it, what is that thing coming up, like what is that trigger? Because with the devil in the external position, like I sense that you're maybe observing certain energies. It's just a way that an energy that may be coming up for you that's kind of, yeah, you may feel like sharp, or a little withdrawn, or maybe there's some fear coming up for you, maybe there's some frustration, there's some like, maybe, yeah, there's a growth here, and there's a certain, when the devil energy comes up, there's something that is in the way that you have outgrown, and it's requiring attention. It's requiring attention. So there's a tone, and the Five of Wands is a bit of a rough and tumble energy. It's yeah, a bit conflictual, but in a way of like kind of creating your own room. I keep wanting to like, yeah, I keep put my, like just these boxing moves kind of thing, and I really sense that, yeah, there's just, you're really taking that kind of tone with yourself in regards to holding space, because I really do sense you holding space for these things that are that may be coming up for you if you resonate with this, and bringing a certain freshness into that energy. You may be even trying a new way of speaking to yourself with the Fool in your conscious energy here, but there's just like an overarching feel of being ready to fully, dive into the new chapter, the new you've been building, you've been growing in some way when in your heart space, the Three of Pentacles there, there is such a beautiful growth kind of potential that I sense over here in your heart space and with your future with the Eight of Pentacles, right? There's this willingness, like this readiness to learn and to grow and to, to get better at something, feel better in your life. Just do your best, right? And that's something that you really think about a lot, right? Virgo is like your personal best and how to like to gently work on that and to feel just kind of fall in love with the process of refining and growing and skill building and getting better at things, right? I just sense a real growth mindset with you, as always, but for real in your heart space and in your future. There's just there's things that you're wanting to put your energy and your time and your resources towards more, and at this time are really noticing certain triggers, outdated, beliefs or mindsets, memories, right? You have the Ten of Swords in your past energy, so that shows me you have been through a lot. There's things that in the last chapters that are kind of like reaching up from the deep right now, and I sense you. I saw that like game. I don't know if you all whoever's watching this has been to Fantasia or like play any kind of arcade and played that like alligator game where you like have the mallet and like hit them down. Well, I saw that. So like boom, you're not coming, boom, 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 like, and I sense a focus with it. You're getting to new levels. You are knowing where those are going to pop up and what they are and how to handle them. The Chariot is your inner child as well, which I love, Virgo. So there's this like connection. And I just saw like this little kid and like a little one of those like, I don't know, mechanical cars, but it was like one of those excavators, that's the word, and like they have those kind of levers. I have no idea, but I saw that, right? And there's just like this lever kind of working your energies. Your inner child is in a driver's seat in some way. They're happy, they're focused, and very encouraging in the direction that you're going. Like there seems to be a connection with your inner child in regards to what you are building, how you are feeling, where you're putting your resources, how you're building your life, growing, and dedicating yourself to the skills that you're wanting to learn, committing yourself to them. Your inner child is the Chariot, so it's like boom, it's time to go, it's time to change, like. And the Fool in your conscious position, it's like, yeah, there's a readiness, there's a whole, and you're leaping into that freshness, fully knowing and putting behind you certain things that just aren't coming along. I don't mean to be redundant, but it is what I'm seeing in this reading, which is so cool. Now, the Justice in the shadow and the Justice in the light is so cool, I gotta say. So the Justice in the shadow is your strengths. So I sense that there's been a rebalancing of your energy, right? There's things that you have balanced. There's truth, there's justice that has been achieved within yourself. It's been, this is why you have a certain tone of like just an edge with you with the Five of Wands, willing to protect that, stand up for that, and that is really like even aspects of yourself. I really feel like there's some deep internal processes here that you are dealing with in order to make that level, so that you can level up to this next chapter that you have been building. There's overlaps to these spirals, right? And so there's an overlap happening, and you're on this like swing this way, and that rebalancing that you've been doing, that like you are allowed, you have a right to enjoy your life, and you know this, Virgo. So there's been this like, yeah, like there's justice in your strength, because there's been a lot that I sense that you've done to feel better within yourself, feel better in your environment, and really feel that like connection between how you authentically feel and really seeing that authenticity reflected back to you in your life and the things that you do. So there's this balancing, and Spirit is saying, I really sense Spirit is saying keep going, you know. And I want to show you both of them together, like really close, because they're just super cute. So here's the shadow, and this is your strengths. Oh, they're so shiny. And then they're both super cute, and they're kind of like smiling. So I sense that you have been able to really find your own answers in regards to the things that you are confronting, addressing, putting behind you, releasing, bringing awareness to, because yeah, sometimes when new chapters start, there's a little bit of an instant replay of chapters past to kind of come up. And I feel like you are really taking a lot of curiosity and with that, and showing up for yourself. And yeah, it's super cool. The Temperance is in your blockages. So I just want to say, like, it takes time. It takes time to alchemize, and this curious approach, this justice that you're kind of taking with yourself. Like, you know that you have the right to enjoy your life, to feel supported, and to be around people with a similar mindset and goal, to enjoy your life and to feel good in your body. And life is hard sometimes. Like, things happen that are like out of our control, and it hurts. It totally hurts, Virgo. I can see that there's been really hard times and challenging times, and that has happened in the past. And the process of removing each of those 10 swords takes time and commitment, and I can tell that you have that with yourself, and that there's new realms of your awareness with your triggers, with these things that come up, this devil energy, the pain that presents in the devil kind of way that tricks us, thwarts us. These are places where you are no longer tricking or thwarting yourself, and that is to be, celebrated. That is to be, yeah, that is to be remarked upon. I don't know, like, I'm going back to the candies, right? It just feels like such a gift. It feels like this like moment of blessing, of recognition, of gifts. And that always reminds me from Spirit, like, the Spirit wants you to know that you are seen and you are loved and you are protected, and bestowing gifts upon you for this hard work that you have been doing, this internal work. There's a lot of healing that is presented in your cards here. Healing that you are protective over, and as you should be, because it's really, really led you into this new, fresh beginning that feels a lot better, that looks so promising and exciting, and that you have, put effort into, and resources and time and energy, and have this commitment and this growth mindset with it. and your inner child is ready and gunning to keep that momentum going towards that direction, and justice is served. It's really quite neat because there's a shifting of the scales, which means like some of you may have really connected with your voice more and have really been, using it more and trusting your voice more. Some of you may have really tuned in with, certain emotional truths and have made more room to honor your feelings and your processes. And others of you may have like really connected with your creative force, your action and your drive, right? There's just so many ways that this could resonate with you. So fill in your fine details if it does. But it takes time, right? The Temperance is a slow and patient energy. It's a curious energy. It's also very divinely guided. Okay, so in all due time, each of these swords, will be addressed. And wherever you are with that, keep taking your own pace with it. It's totally okay to have your own pace with it. And trust in the tools that you have built for yourself to handle these triggers, to handle these fears, these things, these ways that you get in your own way, right? And we all get in our own way, and we have to explore why. And as we explore why they lose their power, we gain more information, we learn more about ourselves, and we evolve and we grow. And it's a really cool reading, Virgo, because this freshness mixed with this healing is all just really inspiring to me. This reading is giving me a lot to think about. But I feel like really this new chapter that you have been building has really inspired you to stand your ground and to not allow certain things where you are going, certain things that you may have done in the past to protect yourself. Whatever they may be, I just really feel that this internal maintenance is important to you because of what you're building. That's just let's just end it there, because I feel like it's starting to go around in circles. Yeah, let's do some oracle and see what's coming up. All right, Virgo. All right, so we've got Rhiannon, Sorceress. You are a magical person who can manifest your clear intentions into reality. Very, very true. And with sorceress energy, when it comes to manifesting, there's a lot that you need to know about yourself and what you're wanting to manifest, right? And you're a magical person who can manifest your clear intentions into reality. You are an energy, Virgo, of really being able to bring earthside and build earthside beautiful things that you channel from spirit, right? Again, back to our wholeness. The way that we interact and connect with life is all within us. And so there's a power with that. And you are very much sorceress kind of energy. And being able to, your earth energy, work with physical energy. So there's things that you are seeing come to fruition right before your eyes that you have wanted, and know that the exchange kind of thing is that certain things can't come with you anymore. And also, in order to rise to the occasion of these blessings, there's a reality check with certain things that come up from past pain, to address that and to quell those triggers as much as you can by healing, by, you know, showing up for yourself, okay? And the more you do that, the less power these places have. And I think that there's an awareness with that. And that is very sorceress energy. That's high priestess like energy, going into the shadow and being really real with yourself. This fierceness, right? The Five of Wands, taking an action and really coming into, you know, conflict with parts of yourself or other people's voices that still linger on within you, and memories that still cause pain, to bring your love to those moments. And love can be used in a fierce way with yourself to maybe even, you know, protect yourself like you needed at that time, to show up for yourself, to understand yourself, forgive yourself, take accountability, all the things that shadow work kind of invites us to do. Because when there's the Ten of Swords in your reading, it symbolizes like deep pain that goes way deep into the past. So as you experience greater blessings, you may also be experiencing these things coming up from the deep as well. And keep your clear intentions on those like places that you have been manifesting, and these blessings that are right before your eyes, to protect them, stand up for them, and not, going back to the beginning of this reading, getting out of your own way. Okay, let's do this one too. So it's Ishtar, boundaries. Love yourself enough to say no to others, demand on your time and energy. So I've been holding this for a while because, yeah, there's things where I sense you rebalancing your time, your energy, the things that you need. And Spirit is saying, keep working on that. Keep making more room for yourself. Keep finding that healthy balance for yourself. Because it is something that has been a strength that is given more room for these blessings to come in, right? And so keep finding those healthy boundaries for yourself, and, you know, fortifying them, holding on, like committing to them, right, Virgo? Like really committing to yourself in those boundaries. That's one of the hardest parts about boundary work, is to really, like, you know, you've laid the boundary, now you hold the boundary, and that sometimes is going to cause some friction, and the practice is trusting yourself in that boundary. So making sure that you have those boundaries with your time, your energy, is so important. because I sense there's things really starting to manifest and, you know, take root, that you have really been wanting and ready for. And there's this conscious like readiness to experience this new chapter, and like there's this trust and this knowing with the Fool. Like, as much as the Fool is like kind of leaping off into a cliff, there's a trust that they have that they are going to find themselves where they need to be. Okay, so let's do one of these and we'll end the reading. All right, what's coming up for Virgo? Whoa. We've got Cosmic Heart, Cosmic Christ. Love that. And then we've got Master Healing. Okay. So Cosmic Heart, Cosmic Christ. You are elevating your vibration towards the frequency of limitless supply and unconditional love. Spiritually, you are reaching for a high level of attainment. Past pain and self-defeating behaviors shall no longer have a place in your heart. I love that. Yes, what a perfect way to summarize this reading. Thank you, Spirit. Past pain and self-defeating behaviors shall no longer have a place in your heart. And I feel that from you, Virgo. So let's go over here. 33, Master Healing. As you meditate, remain true to what inspires your heart and commit to your spiritual path. You become an increasingly powerful healer. You are here to live your own life, to be true to what genuinely moves you. The unconditionally loving guide and ascended master Serapis Bey comes to you with a blessing now of master healing to further your success on your path. Yeah. You are a magical person who can manifest your clear intentions into reality. Sorceress, Cosmic Heart, Cosmic Christ, boundaries, master healing. I sense you really, like connecting to who you truly are, what your gifts are, and using them to feel more like yourself, and that makes the world better around you too. And really leaning into you being a healer in your, your own regard, what that means to you. You are here to live your own life, to be true to what genuinely moves you. And I feel like that is a way of really working, like setting those boundaries so that, the way that you live your life is your own. You feel like you're in the driver's seat of your own life. And I feel like that's something that's really happening here. Again, shifting into the next gear. And yeah, being aware of those places that used to spook you out, and they're not as much anymore because you're aware of those places. And yes, it is a continuous process with that. And that's really what brings you into this, sorceress, healer, a person who really works with energy in their own special way. And that doesn't look like one way. Okay, Virgo, this is for you finding your gifts, following what genuinely moves you, and making room for that, protecting that, doing that, and knowing that it is your sacred birthright to do so. And we're just rebalancing the forces of energy you're feeling in your world. And as I sense, it's starting to feel a bit better. So good for you. Enjoy your little box of candy from Spirit. I hope that this was helpful in some way. Again, happy birthday, and I will see you next month, Virgo.